Thanks, Kristen. Good evening, everyone. Welcome council, staff, residents to our regular planning meeting, and welcome Emily from Hastings County Planning. I'll call the meeting to order with the land acknowledgement. We are meeting today on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. We acknowledge our shared obligation to respect, honor, and sustain these lands and the natural resources contained within. We honor their cultures and celebrate their commitment to this land. We would also like to acknowledge the Mohawk and Algonquin nations, whose traditional and unceded territory we are gathered upon today. Hastings County is situated on treaty land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. Next, they need to approve the agenda, and the recommendation is that the agenda of the planning meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Marmorant Lake for Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 be approved as presented. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Jane, second. Mike, any discussion on the agenda? Being none, all in favor? That's carried. Is there any declaration of pecuniary interest? Being none. Next, there's recommendation that the foregoing minutes of the planning meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Marmorant Lake held Tuesday, February the 17th, 2026 be approved as presented. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Eric, second Ron. Any discussion on those minutes? All in favor? That's carried. Public meetings. There are none. Zoning amendments and reports. Planning reports, severance applications and reports. So it's consent file B82 /25, 1515 DeLaurel Road, Lot 18, Concession 10, Marmora, SROS of Part 28 and 29, QR 486335, Marmorant Lake, West Half Lot 17, Concession 10, Marmora, Part Lot 16, Concession 10, Marmora, as in QR 66629. Thirdly, accept Part 25 and 26 of 21R 6145 and Part 221R 17345. ST interest in QR 66629, Marmorant Lake, Part Lot 16, Concession 10, Marmora, Part 2, 21R 17345, Marmorant Lake, County of Hastings. And the recommendation is that the Planning Committee receive and approve planning staff report dated February the 18th, 2026, that costs to the value of $1,200 cash in lieu of parkland be paid under Section 33(8) of the Act, that all taxes be paid in full prior to granting consent, that road widening be required for the entire frontage of the severed and retained lands as deemed necessary by the Manager of Transportation Services, that a safe site entrance be approved on the proposed severed lands, including removal of brush along sight lines as directed by the Manager of Transportation Services, that the severed lands be rezoned from marginal agricultural to marginal agricultural exception X zone in lieu of appropriate studies, and that the retained lands be rezoned so the mineral extractive zone reflects the licensed boundary of the aggregate pit on the property. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Ron, second. Eric, any discussion on that recommendation or any questions for Emily? Being none, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you, Emily. Next is the confirming bylaw number 2026-14P. And the recommendation is that bylaw 2026-14P, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the planning meeting of council held on the 3rd day of March 2026, be read and passed this 3rd day of March 2026. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that bylaw, please? Jane, second. Mike. Any discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Need a motion to adjourn, Ron. Second. Need a seconder, Jane? Thank you.